Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. I'm hoping this recording comes out okay because I'm using my laptop, and with the screen capture lately, it has been a little glitchy. Unfortunately, I sold my desk today because I am getting a new standing desk. So my computer is all, well, my desktop, I should say, is all taken apart. So we'll see what happens with these images. See what I can do for you. So, Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 2, Episode 2, I'm back into it. I'll be honest with you. It's got some fighting, it's got some action. I got back into it. So, no huge worries there. I was kind of worried, the first episode there a bit. Being that I was very confused. I had no idea what was going on. But ultimately, I guess, this episode or the next several episodes are probably just some sort of backstory. At least that's my guess. So, ultimately, we have to save this girl. That's the goal. You're saving the girl. We start off with Geto here making himself a cup of tea, having a creepy curse saying, "Hey, let's kiss, let's smooch." Attack one of the religious people that are coming after the girl that is going to essentially be the vessel for Tengen. Fujiguro, I believe this is his father. So I'm assuming it's his father. Megumi, I'm assuming that is his father. That's what he was referred to last episode. I had no idea who he was, but apparently he is a cursed user killer. That's where he makes all of his money. He doesn't have a traditional job. Seems to be kind of, very lazy, very indulgent, gambles, eats a lot of fancy food. We haven't really got to see him fight, so we don't really know how powerful he is. We're going to go ahead and just skip past the intro. The intro does not slap as good as it did last year. So this girl right here is going to be the vessel for Tengen, whatever the heck Tengen is. I guess he's the thing that makes a barrier for Jujutsu High School, I believe. And she's perfectly fine. I think she is technically a middle schooler. She's been taken care of her whole life by this maid. And basically, they were told, make sure that, she gets what she wants. Because when she merges with Tengen, she's not going to be able to see anybody anymore. She's going to be basically trapped in the basement. And she's just going to be stuck there for, eternity. Until, 500 plus years later, when the next new vessel is needed. So it's kind of funny, the interaction between Geto and her. She's hanging out, typical high school or middle school student hanging out with her friends, having a good time. Looks like she is at an all-girls school, and really not a whole lot going on. They're just trying to figure out who is catching whom. There's a $3 million bounty, I believe is what they said on there. I don't know if that's like Japanese money or American money, but, 30 million yen, I think, would still be the equivalent of like $300,000. So it's not chump change. And apparently, this Fujigiro's dad here, he has the plan to use all these different people in order to go get her. So I don't know if they're trying to capture her. I don't know if he wants to kill her. They call him the Sorcerer Killer, but I think he is trying to keep her alive, possibly, and or kidnap her for some other purpose. Not really sure what's going on in regards to that. It's kind of very weird. Which I'm hoping, episode 3, 4, we get some further explanation here. Geto is then, I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. Looking up the character sheet, it's spelled G-E-T-O. He is then challenged by this old guy who is also a curse user trying to get that bounty. Old guy is like, oh, I bet you, he's really bad at hand-to-hand combat using all of these curses. He dreads it. And then his life flashes before his eyes. We actually have this cute little sequence with him and his dog, and then Geto just beats the living hell out of him. It's kind of hilarious. So Gojo kind of barges into the choir class, and all the girls are like, "Oh my God, he's so attractive." She's like, "How dare you hide this high school boyfriend from us?" He's like, "No, it's my cousin. It's my cousin. You know, we're not dating." And then the teacher ends up like, "Hey, here's your number." She's like, "Well, I don't meet a lot of people as a as a teacher. Get off my back." So, Gojo the lady killer. Gojo the lady killer. So he is then attacked by this other curse user wearing a bag on his head that has the ability to clone himself, and then he can always choose who the main body is. But to Gojo, he is very, very weak. He's like, "Hey, you know, come work for us. Being that you can make infinite clones of yourself, you'd be very, very useful." But I think that's really his only ability, because it doesn't seem like he has the, you know, he is, you know, physically strong. It looks like he works out, but I don't think he has any other abilities besides the ability to clone himself, from what I'm seeing. And, you know, Gojo uses his powers pretty easily. He tries to use this one power that he calls red. I know we saw purple last season, which I believe is kind of a combination of, let's see if I can find the image, of blue and red. However, unfortunately, I think there's the, I'm hoping the image is up. As I said, you know, technical issues here with my screen. But I'm hoping that it's showing him, you know, basically kind of like doing like a spirit gun type thing with red, being that the technique failed. So at this point in time, you know, Gojo is still in high school, essentially. He has not mastered all of his abilities yet. So it's, you know, the techniques don't always work. He also has to, you know, put his infinity field under this girl, to protect her as well, because obviously he doesn't want her getting hurt. I'm assuming that's what he's doing, because he kind of refuses to let go of her. You know, his hand is like on her back, essentially the entire time this sequence is happening. But gets defeated, you know, kind of the end of the episode there. I'm assuming we are going to get some more fighting next episode. We are probably going to get some further explanation, I'm hoping, next episode, because I got no idea what's going on. You know, how does Geto become kind of the main villain? Because I believe, based on the first season, he's going to be like the main villain. He's, you know, hanging out with all of those extremely powerful, like S-class or unclassified curses. Although, you know, maybe we'll learn how he gets the scar on his head. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. You know, we know that Fujiguro has some issues with his parents, so I'm sure we're going to get some backstory on that, being that his dad doesn't even know who he is. You know, he was even asked, you know, who's Megumi? You know, he said, "Who's Megumi?" in the episode, and I was like, "You don't even know who your own son is? What the heck is going on with that?" So, I mean, very weird. I don't really understand this season. I'm hoping it blends into what happened last season, because if it's something where it's just kind of its own separate thing, it's going to get very confusing. But I'm assuming what's going to happen is at some point along the lines, I think we're getting 24 episodes, but don't quote me on that. We got 24 episodes for the first season, so I'm hoping we're getting 24 episodes for the second season. But my guess is what's going to happen is somehow it is going to blend into the main storyline at some point, with Yuji and Sukuna, you know, with Megumi, with Nobara, and I'm hoping it just, you know, gets rid of the confusion, because right now, if you gave this to somebody, and didn't say it was Jujutsu Kaisen, they may think it's a completely different anime, you know, from the first season. Like, if you showed them this, and then you showed them the first season, minus Gojo being there. If Gojo was gone, I feel like you would not be able to connect 2 and 2 together there. You know, just because people have similar names doesn't really mean much. But still confused on what is going to happen. You know, what is the point of us seeing this? What is the point of Tengen? Very confusing. Anyway, we'll give this like a 7 out of 10. Because minus the still major confusion that is going on, it was a good episode. There was a good fighting sequence. We got to see some of Gojo's powers, some of Geto's powers. You know, got to learn a little bit of background on this new girl character who is essentially going to die, I'm assuming, at some point, being that she's going to get absorbed in the Tenkin. I don't know if she loses all of her consciousness in her mind and becomes him, or he becomes her, or they kind of fuse together, or what the heck is going to go on with that. But there you have it. I'm hoping that the recording of this worked out well. Hopefully next week will be back to me using my phone to record again, so the audio quality will be slightly better, being I should have my desk. Ironically, by next Thursday, I think the 20th there. So either that, or I'm going to have to do this one more time. It depends when I get the desk and how much time I have to put that bad boy together. Also, for Bleach, just real quick, because I probably will not be around this weekend, so you may or may not get Bleach. Well, you will get Bleach, but you might not get Bleach till Monday. Just for a quick reference with like the short clip in my little short synopsis of the episode. It is a possibility you may not get that until Monday, being that I am going to be away from computer access and not have the ability to watch it when it comes out, I believe, on Saturday. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on your way out, and as always, have a good one.